In the frozen wilderness of North America, where the forests stretch endlessly and winters bite with unforgiving cold, whispers tell of a creature both feared and pitied, a spirit of hunger, madness, and endless craving. The Wendigo. For centuries, this terrifying being has haunted indigenous legend and folklore, with stories of its skeletal frame, glowing eyes, and insatiable appetite for human flesh. But where did this myth come from? And could there be truth behind the sightings? Tonight we journey deep into the chilling history of the Wendigo. The Wendigo legend originates from the Algonquian-speaking peoples, tribes such as the Ojibwe, Cree, Innu, and Algonquin. For them, the Wendigo was not just a monster, but a cautionary tale, a symbol of greed and imbalance. It was said that the Wendigo was once human, but transformed when consumed by desperation and hunger, most often during harsh winters, when food was scarce. A person who resorted to cannibalism could become possessed by the spirit of the Wendigo, forever cursed with an insatiable appetite. Descriptions vary, but most agree on its horrifying form. Towering in height, emaciated yet impossibly strong, with ashen skin stretched over bone, glowing eyes, and sometimes the head of a stag or skeletal features. Its heart, if it still had one, was said to be made of ice. The Wendigo legend was so powerful that it even entered into early psychological and medical reports. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, explorers and missionaries began reporting on what they called Wendigo psychosis. This was described as a condition where individuals, often during times of famine, developed an overwhelming craving for human flesh, coupled with fear that they themselves were turning into a Wendigo. Whether this was a cultural syndrome or simply a misunderstanding by outsiders, or an early attempt at psychiatric classification, it cemented the Wendigo's place as more than just a campfire tale. It became a terrifying part of medical literature. One of the most famous cases comes from the early 20th century in Canada, involving a Cree trapper named Swift Runner. During the brutal winter of 1878, Swift Runner's family ran out of food. When authorities later discovered his camp, they found evidence of cannibalism. Swift Runner confessed, claiming he had been possessed by the Wendigo spirit. He was executed for his crimes, but many Cree believed the Wendigo truly drove him to it. There are other chilling stories. Jesuit missionaries in the 1600s wrote about men and women who became man-eaters in the forest, attributing their madness to the Wendigo. These accounts spread among European settlers, blending indigenous belief with colonial fear of the wilderness. Even today, stories of Wendigo sightings persist. In the dense forests of northern Minnesota, Ontario, and Quebec, hunters and campers have reported seeing towering, gaunt figures moving through the trees, their eyes glowing in the moonlight. In 1907, a mining town in northern Ontario was gripped by panic when reports surfaced of a Wendigo stalking the woods nearby. Several men claimed to see it, describing a tall, skeletal creature with antlers and an otherworldly scream. More recently, in the late 20th century, hikers in Manitoba described encountering a massive figure that looked half deer, half human, which vanished into the trees with unnatural speed. Others claim to hear shrill cries in the night, like a cross between a human scream and a howl carried over the snow. Over time, the Wendigo has stepped beyond folklore into popular culture, from horror novels, comics, and films to appearances in TV shows like Supernatural and Hannibal. The Wendigo continues to terrify modern audiences. Its imagery has shifted too, sometimes portrayed as a skeletal giant, other times as a stag-headed monster. But at its core, the Wendigo remains the same, a reminder of the monstrous potential within humanity itself. The Wendigo is more than a legend. It is hunger given shape. It is greed turned into a predator. And it is a story that has survived for centuries because it touches something primal in all of us. Whether a supernatural being stalking the northern forests, or a cultural warning against consuming more than we need, the Wendigo's presence lingers in the cold, waiting, watching, and whispering through the pines. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more legends and haunted tales from around the world.